made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier. Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Hello and welcome to Here's One I Made Earlier, the Blue Peter YouTube channel that tries to be a TV show but fails whenever I press the camera on. Today we're talking about a broad subject but also closer to a closer subject. So we're talking about Blue Peter on BBC Radio 2. Yes, the radio station that isn't really known for Reunion, because that is a specific program on BBC Radio 4, but does really good at generating music programs that require talent and requires people that might have never met before, but always wanted to meet, but all working in the same position, as in the same realm of television or cooking or whatever. This time, Fern Cotton hosted Sounds of the 90s. If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friend. Spice Girls, whatnot, and baby, you gotta be the one that saves me, and all that jazz. And not all that jazz from that musical that I can't think of the name of. Anyway, so they thought, what can we do for Sounds of the 90s? What can we do? And they went, I have an idea, Fern Cotton. Right. Ignore this idea. Go with it. Ignore it slightly due to the fact that it's not the 90s, but it is a very good guest to have. Because if we want to do a certain idea, we need someone closely connected who's A, closely connected to the show, B, an excellent presenter, and C, well, we've already covered it with being an excellent presenter. Well, so what did they do? Well, they brought on Abby Cook, the current one of the current Blue Peter presenters. Right, that's ticked off the list. Because this, what I'm doing here, and I just want to say this, is I'm foreshadowing to future elements in this video. So, Abby Cook, tick. Got modern Blue Peter presenter that a lot of audiences will know of. So we've got a Blue Peter presenter that's really well known to younger people now. So we've got the younger demographic on board. We've got the demographic that like 1990s music but wasn't born in the 90s. What else do we need? Well, we need a 90s presenter that went beyond the 90s but is crowned the longest running female presenter, because you've got the longest running male presenter, you've got the longest running female presenter, and you've got the longest serving pet, is the three categories that you get on Blue Peter. Oh, and longest serving director, longest serving showrunner, if you will, and longest running, all those, but for this purpose, we'll stick with them. So, who is that? Well, it's one and only Connie Hook. Woo! Woo, 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 woo! So, we've got Abby Cook, brilliant presenter, an amazing presenter on current Blue Peter. We've got Connie Hook, who is equally as amazing, and the fact that she is still, well, the fact that she's still happy to talk about the program is a good sign. Then who do we get next to front our program? Well, we need someone that might have ambitions. We need someone that might have told, if we were to ask our researchers something very interesting. We need someone that represents just the 90s. So not someone that represents the 90s and a bit beyond. Well, who's that? Well, it's Diane Louise Jordan. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. And so there you have it. You've got Fern Cotton, who, if I remember rightly, is very well known for her work in the 90s. So you've got the good Radio 2 presenter that is very familiar with radio, does it all the time, and used to be famous. Height of her popularity was in the 90s, and then you've got current Blue Peter presenter, and then 2 90s Blue Peter presenters. So, I personally think that some elements of sound in the 90s worked better when you look at the clips. I know that because radio these days is filmed so they've put clips up online, and not all the time, but just every so often. And so for this, I do think for the second clip you're going to see in this video works better visually because you see the reaction, and the first one obviously works better visually because it's all about the aspect of what's going on. So I think some elements of the show really didn't work in audio, but worked amazingly visually because it was the visual aspect. So the first clip we're going to divulge into, we're going to review, is when Fern Cotton thought, I know what I'll do. I will not humiliate myself because I know that I'm talented in this field, but I'm also really nervous because there's 3 Blue Peter presenters that do this, that one that does this on a weekly basis and 2 that have done it for years are watching me. So what we're about to see is Fern Cotton attempt a very first make, but a make that works better on visual than it probably did on radio. But without further ado, enjoy the clip now!
I'm going to do my very own Blue Peter make. Let's hope I get a badge. It's really technical. Watch out. So I'm going to write the word cat. And then I'm going to make that into a cat. It's magic. Watch.
You're amazing. So I'm listening.
Is this going well? It's quite unnerving having 3 Blue Peter presenters. This cat, it's quite good, no? Will I get a badge for that? We'll see. I did my own make. I turned the word cat into a cat. Oh, kind of cute.
That is actually wonderful.
So are you, as a presenter, able to warrant that badge? You can hand that over, or is there a team we have to talk to? How does this work? 'Cause I'm quite desperate.
I have been given the right to do this. I have been given the sign-off to give you one.
No! Stop! I've waited from 1993 for this moment. I can't believe it. I can't believe this
think it
moment's
signed.
actually happened.
Only took over 30 years.
I feel like a proper human at last. Look at me with my Blue Peter badge.
She's adorable.
Oh, I've chucked my hair in and everything. But... Abby, thank you so much.
And so, there we have it. That is clip number 1. So we'll pat the device down for now. So, what I think worked really well was the fact that they were filming it so that she could draw the cat in the visual frame. I'm just making sure I'm on my seat properly. So, I think that element worked extremely well. And I think that that's what Blue Peter does really well. And because it's got these elements that can be done on other things. So if like, say for instance you're on a comedy panel show, and a Blue Peter presenter's on it, they could do a bit when they take the Mickey out of a make or something, but get the presenter to present a Mickey take of it for themselves. So I think that having these elements helps when they're on other things that the presenter wants to show off that they can do such and such a thing, which is, I think, is a good thing. So the end result, which you've seen already, is just, I don't know what word to say, but I think astonishing. I don't know too much about Fern Cotton's artist ability, and then watching her draw that cat out the word cat, I don't think that would make it onto Blue Peter, because I think that's really complicated. That's incredibly complicated, and I mean, like, that is brilliant. They probably would do that on Blue Peter because I'm not an artist, I'm not talented in the world of art, so I think other people probably found that a lot easier than I would. So I highly doubt that they I highly doubt that it's. I think it's a me issue, not a them issue. But I do think that it's really much a testament. I was just itching my knee, sorry. A really much testament to Blue Peter that it was done in a really good spirit. They didn't judge really high, so like, wow, that's amazing. And I personally think that is amazing. I, for one, I'm impressed. And if I'm impressed, and if Blue Peter's impressed, well, you know you're down for a winner there, itching me foot. I do apologise. And so it gets even better, and I'll tell you for why. Baby, well, I mentioned those peace on earth. No, I'm not going to start doing that. I said tell you for why, and it reminded me of the Gavin Stacey version of Island in the Stream by Dolly Parton. Anyway, which isn't the 90s, early 2000s, actually. Anyway, so I think that what worked really well on that was the fact that she then was like, does this mean I get the man? It's a poor impression, but I'm trying to make sure it doesn't sound like me. So let me just roll with it, is what I'll say. It's not an impression of Fern Cotton, it's an impression of someone doing a poor impression on Fern Cotton. So does that mean I get the opportunity to get my own Blue Peter badge? My thought is, wouldn't she not have appeared on Blue Peter in her career? But turns out not. So it was good to have Abby Cook on there because it meant that not only did we have a current Blue Peter presenter who's a massive fan of Blue Peter, so she got to meet her like some of her like favourite presenters and heroes in Lord of Blue Peter, and I think that every Blue Peter fan gets really excited every time they meet a Blue Peter presenter, no matter what year they were on the show or whether or not they're on the show now. Fans, including myself, love meeting Blue Peter presenters. I've met two, Abby Cook and Janet Ellis. I got to interview them both. The Abby Cook interview is available on the Weird Side, because it was, funnily enough, I created this channel once. Then it wasn't working for me. YouTube wasn't playing ball. I deleted the channel, and then never thought any further of it. And then after I interviewed Abby Cook, I thought, yes, I am going to create this channel. And then we were born. So we were born just after Abby Cook's interview. So it was a little bit like, oh, I should have created the channel before so I could have done, here's what I interviewed earlier for Abby Cook. But the interview is still amazing as it is over on the third channel. So it's nice to see that when you watch these clips, you see the smile on Abby's face. It's because she's on Radio 2. She's talking to Fern Cotton and she's talking to Diane Louise Jordan and Connie Hook. It's like you can see her smiling from here to here, and you can just tell that she's having a great time. And I think her then saying they have now this not an impression, but this impression of someone that would do a voiceover for that moment if that was the type of thing they would do. Chris Moyles probably would have the voiceover because they were trying to do it more of a comical effect. But this is my impression. Now, with the powers vested in me, here is your Blue Peter badge. And I think that Fern Cotton's really happy that she was gifted the right to have a Blue Peter badge. I don't think, but I don't know whether or not you have to ask for permission to give out a Blue Peter badge. If you're a presenter, do you have to ask production's permission to, or is it or do you have to ask the badge team? I would think, as a wild thought process here, but I would think that you would have to ask the badge team for permission because they're the ones that really hand out the badges. So I sort of understand that, but if anyone knows any more details of why she had to ask, why she had to say that she had to ask for permission to hand out the badge, because I always thought that if you're a presenter, you'd be automatically granted the access to the badge. I don't know too much details on that, but if you know, do let me know in the comment section down below. Now, our next and final clip for this video is a clip that I personally think is the clip that, if I heard it on the radio, when I heard it on the radio, I don't think it worked really well. I think it was a very bad way of doing it, due to the fact that when this event happens, you want to see the reaction on the face. So the video element, the recording it for video to release online, was absolutely incredible because that made it much better. Because what I want to see as a Blue Peter viewer, what I want to see as a fan of the show, is when someone gets an award, I want to see their reaction to it. Like, are they covering the mouth? Are they like crying? Are they doing whatever? I want to see that because that makes it even better in my humble opinion. That makes it slightly better. And so the clip really works really well. So here is a very special award for a very special Blue Peter presenter. Enjoy!
We used to have the super precious gold badge, and you pretty much had to die to get a badge.
Yeah, sure.
Or, get to the moon or something really, really special. So none of my generation had a gold badge.
Oh, I know what you're going to
But
say
these
now.
guys, when they retired from the job,
They changed the rules.
they all,
And you got a gold
they've all got
badge?
gold badges. So I feel like you.
So you haven't even got one now?
Of course I haven't.
Oh,
But don't you have to do? You
Sorry.
have to do a certain number of years to get a gold badge. Isn't
I
that
did do a certain number of years.
Abby, haven't you got something to hand over to Diane?
I do. Now, you were talking earlier about that you didn't get a very certain badge, but we wanted to actually recognise the fact that you did 6 amazing years in the 90s, and you not only inspired kids across the UK, but you also inspired kids across the world, wherever you travelled, and you even came up with your very own Blue Peter appeal that you put out there. And so we wanted to
Oh my
award
gosh, I'm
you
going to cry.
the highest accolade that we can. It's the gold Blue Peter badge. There it is. You've got one.
Wow, I literally am going to cry.
I'm sorry, it's a difficult box to open. I should have done that. You so deserve it.
It's beyond deserved and about blimmin' time.
Yes.
Quite frankly.
Well,
Exactly. There you
Look
go.
at that on your pink tardy.
I can't believe I'm so pleased. I'm so happy. I literally can't believe it. Yay.
Well done, Diane Louise Jordan, on your very first and only, because you only get it once, gold Blue Peter badge. You are now in the realms of royalty and actors, singers, and other inspiring people. And as well as you fellow Blue Peter presenters. I thought that was such a lovely idea for the show. I thought that was such a lovely concept. And as I said before, the video element works much better, and you can see why. You can see the passion, you can see the love, you can see the energy, you can see... sounds like I'm going to start rapping, I'm really not. Don't worry. And you can just see how much they love what they do and how much they loved their experience. And you obviously know she was joking about being jealous, well, she probably wasn't, but I'm going to say she was joking that she was jealous. But I'm also impressed that... I'm also glad and happy that she got the badge in the end, and I think that that's what Blue Peter's all about. It's not about who's presenting, it's not about what's going on, it's all about how does it make you feel. So, does Blue Peter give you happiness? And if so, why? And I think, for me, what Blue Peter does best is when you give out an award, you give out a badge, you give out whatever, and you see these people all smiling, happy, over the moon, and it's a great moment. Like, for instance, Rob Burrows getting a gold Blue Peter badge. What a wonderful moment that was. And all the other badge winners over the years, and you just know that Blue Peter's not going to go anywhere anytime soon because of all the joy it brings. And I think that me creating this YouTube shows how much joy it brings me, because I love the show enough to say, yes, I don't mind talking about the show. Yes, I'm going to talk about every element of the show, past, present, and future. I'm going to talk about the fact that the current presenting teams are amazing, and that Doctor Who and Blue Peter have been merged at the hip, and they've done all sorts together. And I'm going to talk about all the things I love about it. I'm going to talk about the fact that if you're a Doctor Who fan, you will have been a Blue Peter fan at some point in your life. And I think that this show, Sounds of the 90s, proves the point that no matter what era you're watching Blue Peter in, and no matter how big of a fan you are, Blue Peter is for everyone and will be for everyone forevermore. No matter what age you are, there is a target demographic. I am going to say this right now. There is a target demographic for Blue Peter, but it doesn't stop anyone of any age who was a fan of Blue Peter past, present, or future to watch it. And I think that Blue Peter is accessible for everyone. And it's not just saying, oh yeah, this, that, and the other. It says, right, we're going to do these challenges. And I know these might sound far-fetched, that you probably wouldn't end up sat on a plane with a baton trying to pass it to another person on a plane in a baton. I know that might not ever happen in your life, but everything and anything is possible. And this programme on the radio says, these people have done some incredible things. Abby Cook's still doing incredible things, might I just point that out. And it's like, well, there's more to come. And everything's going to be incredible forever. Well, as long as Blue Peter lasts. And you can see the joy on Diane Louise Jordan's face. That she's over the moon and she's giddy to get this badge. I just want to say congratulations to Fern Cotton for presenting this programme. Congratulations to Diane Louise Jordan for getting the Blue Peter, Gold Blue Peter badge. Well done to Connie Hook for just being amazing, and well done to Abby Cook for presenting the award so well and getting it across so that the radio viewers, the radio listeners, got a similar experience that people watching the clip got. Because I think that's a hard thing to achieve, really, when you're trying to balance between, you've got a physical item, you have to try and make sure radio viewers and make sure that the whole experience is accessible to everyone. So, there we have it. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, that is one we made earlier. Bye-bye.